commitment to environmental reporting also means a commitment to follow up after an initial headline makes the news. And that is the case in Frederick County, Maryland, where last week we told you about 8 schools that had well water that was contaminated by so-called forever chemicals. Those are chemicals that are linked to cancer and other health effects.
Yeah, so schools are providing bottled water while searching for a long-term solution. Now the investigation turns to what the possible sources might be. Here's environmental reporter Scott Broom in Frederick County, Maryland.
As the riverkeeper on the upper Potomac, Brent Walls and volunteers test waterways all summer for safety.
This is definitely citizen science.
What we found was...
And Walls investigates for pollution sources, sometimes with a drone.
Frederick County Public Schools tested...
Last week, when news broke that the so-called forever chemical, PFAS, was contaminating the wells used by at least 8 schools here in Frederick County, Walls went to work. He used mapping software and discovered that all but one of the affected schools is very close to a fire station, like here in Green Valley, where the firehouse and school are right next to each other. Walls also found that many schools were near farms which have permits to spread sludge from sewage plants as fertilizer. Firehouses are of particular interest because firefighting foam and fireproof materials are well-established sources of PFAS and can be spread by training and maintenance activities. Here's some of my conversation with Walls today.
All but one of them had a fire station right next to the elementary school. And that just kind of sent a few alarm bells. And they're all in rural areas of the county. And so likelihood that the fire station is on septic system, and then you have the school that's on the well water, and then you have the biosolids on the farm fields all around these schools. That groundwater medium is just transferring the PFAS into people's wells. And
Walls cautions that his mapping does not prove that fire and farming activities are the source of PFAS in school water, but he says his data does raise questions that authorities should look into.
We eradicated PFAS containing firefighting foams in 2021.
Frederick County Fire Chief Thomas Coe says the county has already eliminated the use of PFAS firefighting foam because of health concerns.
There's no direct correlation that I'm aware of to these school wells being contaminated because of the fire station, but it is interesting that they are co-located in a lot of places.
One of the reasons PFAS is an issue now is because the U.S. EPA in April set 4 parts per trillion of PFAS contamination as the limit in public water supplies. And municipalities, including here in Frederick County, Maryland, began to test. Sure enough, when they went looking for it, they found it. Frederick County public health officials told me today that people with their own wells should be testing too, as a routine, at least once every 2 years. They say advanced home filtering systems can take PFAS and other contaminants out of well water, and county health officials say they stand ready here in Frederick County to help homeowners with questions. In Frederick County, Maryland, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.